All right. First of all, just proud of our guys from Saturday night, going back and looking at that, particularly in the third quarter, just came out of halftime ready to play. Put up some big points and got control of that game. So, and then we're able to finish it off strong there in the fourth. But, and to get to 6 wins, great job by our staff and our players. To be able to accomplish that, that's obviously a goal for every team. I think with college football, when you start out playing, you want to get to that 6-win plateau, and particularly for us, coming off what happened last year. But we're not finished yet. We got a big game this weekend with Syracuse, and then finish off the last game with Kentucky. So there's still a lot of ball left ahead of us that we want to accomplish those 2 games there, and head that into the right direction as we head into postseason.
After a game like that, with how just the emotions that go into that, I know there's a 24-hour rule, but how long do those celebrations you think kind of last for this group?
Well, I mean, you put it to bed on Sunday. It doesn't matter win or lose. You come back on Sunday and you learn from, the things that you didn't do well and what you did well, and then you apply them in practice. So we do the same routine. That's why we try to keep it consistent throughout the whole year. And you put that game to bed, it's all Syracuse after that practice. And that's kind of what we did all last night and what we're doing all day today. We get on the practice field tomorrow, So you really celebrate that few hours after the game. You play a late game, it's very short-lived, and that's just the way this way it is for college football. So. And I like that. I like the fact that you can put those games to bed, win or lose, and you move on to the next week.
Coach, as far as Syracuse, they've been a little up and down this season, but put together quite a performance against Duke. What did you see on film that was just so different compared to how they've been playing?
Well, as I go back and I've watched a lot of their games this year, it's amazing to me to see, some of the stat lines just throughout the season. I mean, because you watch the film, like watching the Clemson game, their defense played well against Clemson. And, Trevor Lawrence is still playing with 7 minutes to go in that game. I mean, I think they've done some things to shoot themselves in the foot, offensively at times throughout the year. I mean, they've given up a lot of sacks, and, defensively they're a pressure team playing a lot of man and sometimes giving up some plays there. But, man, if you just didn't know anything about their record or stats or anything, you watched the film, it looked pretty good to me. And so – big-time win for them last week. What they did with Duke, I think offensively was able to run the football, 2 guys over 100 yards rushing, didn't have to throw the ball very much. And then defensively, shut Duke down, turning the ball over, had a pick 6. Just momentum and just grabbed it and never let go of it. And obviously their best game of the season. And which we know they'll be riding high coming in here this weekend. They're sitting there with 4 wins, looking to try to get bowl eligible for these last 2 games. We know we'll get their best shot. Coach Baber's done a great job with that program. I know there's kids got a lot of fight, so we have to come in here and we have to mentally say we got to play our best game. That's where we want to be this weekend.
When you first got these guys together and actually got them on the field back in February or whatever. Did you think it was a group that could win 6, 7, or 8 games?
No, not in February. When we first got together, it was we knew there was a lot of work that needed to be done. Even after we finished spring practice, we thought we came a long ways between the first practice and the last practice in February. We actually, one of the comments several of us made was that we wish we could start spring all over again right now. Because we just felt like, now we got them to the point where we're ready to start doing some ball. It just took 15 practices to just kind of get, used to everything. But so no, it's been a work in progress the whole time, and we still are. I mean, we're still fighting and battling every single day, to try to improve and to get better. Not only as a football team, but just in our daily habits. I think that's just so huge, and we still got a lot of work to do in that regard. But again, we're fighting it every day to as coaches and as players to be the best we can possibly be.
Coach, Hawk obviously went over 1,000 yards. He's a couple yards away from breaking the freshman record, probably an all-conference season. Just what's been the key to his success, you think, this year?
Well, I think, what we want to do, we've said this from day one, is be able to run the football. And, can't remember if I said this early in the season, but whoever our running back's going to be, we felt like they got an opportunity to get 1,000 yards. I just saw App State's running back. If it's 8 years in a row, they've had a 1,000-yard rusher, and that's just what we want to do offensively. We've been able to carry that to here, and but Hawkins is the kind of player that you love as a running back. He's explosive, he's powerful. He's a little bit undersized, but he makes up for that just with his grit and his fight. And then I think our offensive line's played well in this year in blocking for the run. And we've made enough really big plays on the perimeter outside here to try to open up some of those rushing lanes throughout the season. I thought NC State, did the best job of anybody because they had 9, 10 guys in that box. So I think that's why we were able to throw 5 touchdown passes also. But I think just overall, Hawkins has had a really, really nice season. And he's not done yet.
Coach, you have that divisive medieval implement of torture over there. You had a good turnover to a ratio on Saturday, and then Russ Yeast had 2 strips. How important has that thing actually played as a role in your development?
I don't know. It plays a lot, I think. I think we went through a stretch at App where we didn't cause any fumbles. We were like, for a year and a half, I don't think we got one fumble in a year and a half, and so we got to do something. So we went out and purchased one of these things, and we started getting fumbles. I don't know what the magic is in that, but it works. I mean, maybe it's just mental. You hit it. We hit it every day when we go to practice. I'm hitting it. All the coaches are hitting it. The players are hitting it. So we obviously want to be able to create turnovers. It's huge. You go back and look at the games we've won those turnover margins. We've won. Obviously the ones we haven't, we haven't. I mean, you look at Miami, we're 0 for 3 in turnovers and turnover margin. So it's a big part of our success to be able to win a turnover margin, and part of that is getting fumbles and getting interceptions.
Scott, you look at Syracuse. Tommy DeVito is, I think, the 3rd active longest streak of non-interceptionless. But what does he do, or have you seen him kind of grow on film and do? Yeah,
he's he's a good player. He's got a live arm. And what they do scheme wise, they kind of protect him. You're not throwing into many coverage situations with the RPOs. Usually it's a one-on-one look where he's got a clean look, passing lane to throw the football. They utilize the screen game, the quick screens with the wide receivers, and a lot of quick games. So when you're doing that, you're going to take care of the football. And that gives them an opportunity. And then what they were able to do this weekend, running the football, it even helps them even more. So now you got to worry about Mo Neal and these guys running the football. And so now you got to, commit another guy to stop the run, and that's going to open up more passing lanes. So he's done a good job taking care of the ball and with that regard. And obviously we want to try to do something to disrupt that. And, hopefully we can rush the passer. We haven't been great at that. They have given up some sacks this year, and so hopefully we'll be able to create some pressure there and, maybe make them throw the ball earlier.
Scott, Vince was in here, and he said that a moment that stood out to him this year was your post-game speech at Florida State. Is there a moment, whether it be in practice, in a game, where you realized this 6-win thing could really be possible this year?
I don't think there's really one moment. I mentioned this before, but I think, the first half of Notre Dame, I felt, man, these guys are competing. They're playing hard. They're fighting. We're right here in this game. At that point, I was like, we got a chance. And you never know what the season was going to how it was going to lay out, and how many games you're going to win, and all that. But I thought we would be able to be competitive from that point right at the beginning of the season. And if you look at our schedule, this is pretty daunting as we looked at it initially. A lot of really good football teams coming off of last year with all the wins they had, and so that's why I didn't know. And I've never coached in this conference either. It's I know a lot about the ACC, but never coached week in and week out to see the competition that you have and what you're going to have to overcome. So, and I think our guys have played well enough. We're sitting here, and with 6 wins is pretty remarkable as we looked at it from the beginning of the season. And I'm proud of these guys where they continue to fight every single day. And again, we gotta finish it out strong.
Now, been a lot said about your big play offense. How would you describe your offense? Do you have a name for it? Number one. 2, how have you seen it develop throughout the course of the season? Because earlier you weren't getting those big plays.
Well, we want to be able to run the football, and when teams load up, we want to be able to throw it down the field. And I think we have the big play receivers to be able to do that. Tutu's had an all-conference type year, a very consistent big play guy for us, and we thought that going into this year. Fitzpatrick's had a really nice year as well. He's a big play receiver for us. Seth Dawkins. You couple that with Hassan Hall and Hawkins at the running back position, big play guys. And then we saw, Ford. I love Ford. Marshawn, he had a big game this past weekend with some of the big plays that he made. And, we want to be able to do both, throw it and run the football. And, because once they stop one side of the ball throwing or running, then you got to be able to do the other. And probably Saturday, we probably should have thrown the ball a little bit more, really, because they were loading it up and playing a lot of man on the outside. But, we just want to be an offense that can move the ball, take care of the football, stay on the sticks, and we've done a poor job with that this year. So we really have had to have big plays. The way we've, had the tackles for loss and some sacks, we've had to have those big plays to be able to bail ourselves out. And fortunate enough, we've been able to do that with some of those. And you look at Saturday night, two of those touchdown passes were 3rd and long, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 14 or something. I mean, and it's great to have those weapons to be able to bail yourself out.
Scott, since the season started, Baylor, Minnesota, and Nebraska, among others, have extended their coaches. Do you expect that to happen with you? And at what point do you go in and demand a raise?
I don't look at that. I don't worry about that. I'm just trying to be good today. Whatever I can do today to be good. It's kind of like, when you guys ask me how many wins are we going to get, and I don't know. We just want to be consistent, be consistently good, and that's what I want to be as a head coach. Consistently bringing it every day to try to help this football team. And I don't worry about that stuff. I think, when you're doing your job, and you're doing a good job, then things are going to happen for you. And I've always been that way. When I first started coaching back in '98, coaching wide receivers, just do your job, do the best you can do, and then hopefully things will work out for you the best. So that's kind of where I'm at with that.
Coach, it seems like every play defensively or even every game, Kane is somewhere making a play, somewhere in a pile. Just how crucial has he been to the growth of the defense and just how consistent he's been?
Yeah, he's probably been one of our most consistent performers on the defensive side of the ball. He's, he was a guy that I quite honestly, back in the spring, I didn't know kind of what kind of type of player he would be for us. And, I've been proud of him, the way he's played. What we're asking him to do a lot of times is fill in that alley, being that tackler that really supports the run there. And he's done a really good job with that. I think he's we hadn't asked him a lot to do in the passing game, mainly the run game, coming up and doing that. One of our leading tacklers. I think he's probably had his career year out of his time he's been here, and really proud of the way he's played. He's one of our leaders on defense.
Coach, there's so many seniors, not to leave anybody else on that individually, but as a group for the guys that stuck through this being senior day, what have they meant to this program? And Saturday will be kind of an emotional day for those guys, being the last game.
Yeah, and for them, if you ask them, they'll say, man, it flew by. It always does for these seniors. And, for us as a staff, and we talked about to them, is that, we're sad because we hadn't been able to spend enough time with them. We get 1 year. And I told them I want to make this the best year they've ever had at Louisville, their very best year. And we hope that at the end of the season, that's what they'll be able to say, that they had the most fun and playing for each other and being a part of this team. That's what we want from them. And I appreciate these seniors that have stuck it around with us, that have been through us, through all this, because it's not easy. That's probably the toughest group, for them to be able to here comes a new staff, new coach. They can say, well, they're going to play young guys or this or that. And we just want to play the best guys. We really didn't care. And we gave everybody an opportunity. And so we hope that these guys have enjoyed this season. And I'm extremely happy for them to be able to extend it, and they get to go play in their one more bowl game. And, I'm just appreciative of what they are. And I told them, listen, 5, 10, 15 years from now, and you guys come back here, we hope we're still, supporting you in everything that you're doing in your life as a father, husband, and a career person.
Ian has 2 catches for, I think, 5 yards, and both of them are touchdowns. I know he means so much in the blocking game, but is that something that you've seen? I mean, he was an offensive lineman.
He was, yeah.
Is that something you saw when you got him, that he actually could catch the ball?
Yeah, he told me the other day we need to throw him the ball more. I mean, all he does is catch touchdowns, right? He's 2 for 2. He's a guy that came in, and he, as a grad transfer, and we needed some help at tight end, particularly on the ball, blocking tight end, and he's been that. He's been a great for that, and. We get down to red zone. We've had a couple of these plays all season, really, and just kind of waiting to see when we need to call them. And, And for him to be able to make those 2 catches, that's fun for him. I mean, he's so excited. The first one he caught at Miami, he didn't know what to do. You know, he kind of just stood there. This one, I think he maybe, you know, tried to show his muscles to the crowd. I mean, he's working on his touchdown celebrations if he gets another opportunity. But he's having fun, you know, and that's what I love. That I love to see the joy on their faces when they're going out and having fun, making plays. He's one of those guys, and he's been an integral part of our running game with the way he blocks.
Scott,
Yep.
what goes into before you call a fake field goal?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of discussion is it? What's the decision-making process there on the sidelines? Is it any different or?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we're looking at how they were defending the extra points and then the field goal attempt that we had, and we thought it was going to be there. So now you're just waiting. Okay, what scenario is going to come up? Do we get, you know, are you going to be able to use it? And I told him, you know, Ryan, after the missed extra point, I said, listen, you know, keep your head in there. You know, we may come with the fake here soon if it presents itself and whatever. And so it just happened to work out. You know, you're down there. It's 4th and 7. Felt like we wanted to try to get some points in it, and we felt like it was going to be there. And, you know, we've been practicing that all year, you know, and he's been practicing it for 2 weeks, you know. And so I told Coach Holt, I was like, yeah, it's there. Let's go for it. And it just worked out. The scenario worked out, and he made the play. I mean, you know, great play by him. You never knew he was going to make the play like that. But it was just a great play, and you know, obviously, you know, turned out to be a big play for us. You know, getting that touchdown, we really needed that one.
Scott, do you give any thought to maybe potential schools that might reach out to you about a job, considering what you've done here this year?
No. I just think about what I can do to help this team. I mean, you know, it's all Syracuse and what we can do to try to, you know, move the ball offensively, stop them on defense, and that's all I care about right now. Is that it? All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.